Oh. Swear to God, switch the camera on. Choked up. Right, let's get started. Hello. How are you? Today I'm going to talk about something which I'm guessing you could tell what's going to happen now, judging by the title. But yeah. Just before we get into the video, I'm going to add a sense of humour to it. Not on the sense it will seem like a comedy sketch, but I'm going to add humour to it because that's my way of dealing with things, just so I don't get choked up, because obviously I want to get my message out there and talk about it, if that makes sense. Okay, this isn't a comedy sketch. I don't like, I've seen people do this, and they end it with a really stupid way. There's this YouTuber out there who I love, and then I watched this video and now I hate him because what he did, he ended it, he told his whole story and then ended it with going, I am a YouTuber, and I was really furious at that because it sort of took the mick out of this sort of video, which is very difficult to get the message across. It is so difficult. I'm already choked up already. I need to man up. So yeah, oh god, I thought this was going to be easy. I genuinely did. Well, let's get first things first. I'm gay. That was a lot more easier to say than I thought it was going to be. I still, to this day, I've hardly said it out loud, so I still find it difficult to sort of come to terms with, if that makes sense. I first thought about being gay really early year 11, well, not about year 10 time actually. Right, that's not again. I first thought about being gay about year 10. I thought that this could be because I was more attracted to the males. Oh, sorry, shit. Sorry. I first thought that I was gay in about year 10. Mainly, I don't know why I just laughed then, but mainly because I felt more. I didn't really. All these people were talking about girls all the time, and I was just sat there and I didn't care. I thought it was just me going, I didn't want anything to do with girls, but I just really didn't feel it. I don't know how to describe it. Feel like I wanted to talk about them. But year 11, that went on for a little while, but I sort of thought, what if I am? It sort of went on to about year 11 when I really thought about it, and about early year 11, I said to myself, I'm gay. And then I sort of hid it from myself, but sort of was a bit open about it, but I didn't tell anyone. I sort of acted it and didn't tell anyone. So people started to assume it. But it wasn't acting it on purpose. It was sort of one of those things when you get something in your head, it starts to move you on. But throughout the whole of year 11, I was in a college as well as doing year 11, so I had the stress of that. So I wanted to focus on my exams and stuff like that, and hiding something as big as that and concentrating on my exams and juggling two educations together was incredibly stressful. It was really, it was a stressful time for me. I'm going to ramble in this video. I'll probably say some one point and then move on to another point and then come back to it. It's going to be all over the place. It was not till later that very year that I was talking to a friend on Skype, and I finally plucked up the courage to tell her. And it really lifted a load of weight off the shoulders. It really did. It was like the best thing I could ever do. But I wasn't ready for it to be. I didn't want everyone to know. I didn't want people to know. So I told her, but then I said to her, please don't tell anyone. Then I remembered, we're teenagers, it's going to come out. Quite literally in my case. And within the next 2 days, I was being emailed or being messaged on Facebook, being emailed, being texted. Oh, you actually, this person's told me, which was the person I told, and I went to her, you told people, I told you not to tell anyone, and she just went, I haven't told anyone. I said, she obviously blatantly had. I was very angry at her about it, but I didn't go and like shout at her or anything. I was just really upset with her that I sort of lost trust in her when she was going through a tough time and I was helping her through it, and I didn't tell anyone about it. And she just blurted this big thing out of me starting to become comfortable with myself. She started to blurt it out everywhere. Then, a few weeks later, I went on holiday with my Explorer group. And I sensed this time as an opportunity to tell my mother that I was gay. And so I wrote her a letter and put it on a USB stick, hid it under a pillow, then went on holiday. I got a text from her saying, I've read the letter, and I wrote a joke about it because I wrote in the letter that my grammar will probably be awful in this in this letter, and she texted me saying the grammar is terrible. But she understood, and at that point when I'd come to terms with it, you go through the biggest amount of denial ever. I did, and then even remember texting her saying I'm regretting sending it. I didn't think to be fair, what I meant by that is I didn't think I was ready to tell her. And I told her in the letter, I don't have the letter with me to hand. It's been deleted. It's gone. It's actually on a USB stick, which doesn't work. I told her. I thought I heard a noise. I told her not to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I wanted to come home and everything be normal. I wanted no change in how I was treated, which was like crap. Oh no, I didn't want to change how I was treated. I didn't want to be treated differently, if that makes sense. And I didn't want to talk about it. I forgot that was my mother I was talking about, and she doesn't shut up about it. It's never not talked about. Nowadays it's a bit annoying, but I don't mind it because she now knows, and for about nearly 2 or 3 months she was a bit like, I don't think you are, I think you're just saying it. But then eventually she started to come to terms with it. Not in like a denial, like she was upset about it and she wasn't approved of it. She was just a bit like, I don't think you are. I don't know if that makes sense, because no one else believed it. But then she started to see it a bit more and started to notice it, and then now she's sort of like, I think you actually are, which is great. But then when I came out to her, I had an entire year of college where I didn't tell anyone, any of my friends. I told no one. I thought, keep this quiet, this is a family matter. I didn't want to tell any more friends, didn't really ever speak about it. I kept it in the dark. But I knew they were going to have to know. But I didn't have an opportunity, I didn't find a time to tell them, and when I was going to tell them at some point, I was going to tell them, but then some of them in college said they were against it, or they said something and it sounded in my head like they're against it. And it then put me off coming out to them. I've told them this and they're fine with it. And it wasn't till before Christmas this year, not this year, I mean before Christmas 2016, I mean them. It wasn't till really just before Christmas 2016 that I finally told them, but it was out of accidental circumstances. I'll tell you the full story, they all know it, we joke about it now because it's quite funny, but it was, you know, fraping? It's when you take someone's phone and you like upload something to Facebook. I do that with my friend's phone all the time. My friends did it, but they wrote something about homosexuality that was a bit negative, and I was a bit upset that they said that. So I asked them, what if I was? What if I was? Well, I didn't have a go at them at what they're doing it. I didn't mind that because they sent it on as a private message thing. They didn't send it as a onto a Facebook, because I've always said to them, if you're going to do it, don't do it on my Facebook profile because I work with clients. I don't mind you doing it on messages with people you know. I know that I don't mind that. I know this kind of defeats the point of it, but you know. But yeah, I messaged them and I messaged them and told them, what if I was? The argument went on for ages. I'll actually get the argument. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Alright, so what? I wrote. So what if I was gay? He swore. Obviously, it's him. He says, "You do it to everyone else. This is the Fraping thing." What? No, you said it was a negative thing. He did say it was a negative thing. I can't remember what you wrote. Um, Eventually, the person who I thought was against it said he didn't care. Um, he then smiled, and I was like, "Why did you write that? Why did he write it?" Um, and I was very furious with it. He then kept on having a go at me. I'm just reading through it to refresh my memory. I was going to read it out, but you know, it's sort of annoying and quite cringy. But I said to him, he kept on having a go at me because of the Fraping thing. I didn't care about that, and I've even said to him I didn't care about that. It was what he said, and he was like that. And I never said that to you. I never said anything in a negative way. I just say some really stupid, weird stuff. He kept on going on about it. He kept on saying I cry when I did it, and I'm not crying about it. I kept on saying that's not the point. I kept on saying he said that gays were bad in the text. He said it in a. He said it something in a negative way. I'm not going to say what he said because I can't remember. Um, and I kept on saying I don't care about the. He kept on saying you're a little rat. You're all blah 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 blah. He kept on saying someone is. He kept on saying that something gay is negative, and I was talking about the phone not caring. And everyone was like, "It's just a prank." And I said, "Do you see anyone laughing? For goodness' sake, done worse." I know it's a prank. That proves my point. It sort of emphasised the fact that he was negative. He was joking about negativity with homosexuality and stuff. And then he says, "This is I really couldn't give a plop. So run off with your little girlfriend and cry about it." No idea what that meant. He left the group. I then reacted to him, and I went, "My little girlfriend?" I'm like, "Really?" Everyone then smiled. I've no idea what that meant. He says, "Not calling you gay, am I?" And he was. I didn't like it when people assumed I was. That much. Back then, I don't mind it now. But and I kept on. Then I thought, this is the time to tell people. That's just why I had to go. I wouldn't have had to go at him normally, but I thought this was the time to tell anyone. That's why I did say to him, "Why did you say that?" And I said, "Have a guess why I'm having a go at you for saying negative things about gays." And he goes, "Why?" And I went, "Guess." He goes, "You're gay." And I put a thumbs up and cool. And then I explained to everyone that means yes. I then shared these messages with my friends and said, but he never, he's now friends with me, he never said he wasn't against it, ever. And I told everyone, and everyone was so comfortable with it, but I told them about my friend, and they were like, "Go tell our teacher." It was about 2 days later when I went and confirmed with him, by the way, I am actually, he didn't believe me, that's why it was weird. I said, "I am actually gay," and he went, "I'm completely for it, I do not mind it." He wasn't against it, and it sort of breathed a sigh of relief. I wanted to wait a few days, but they were all like saying, "Tell the teacher." I found out about a few weeks ago that they actually told my teacher, which I was very thankful that they did. They told my teacher about what happened, just to see if I was okay, because obviously this was a big thing they just learnt about me. About me being quiet for so long. Yeah. So that's the story so far. I have got another thing which I'm going to mention, which my friend will hate me for mentioning, is I kept so quiet about it. I didn't want to get into a relationship, and I'm still not really keen yet to get into a relationship. But I have fancied people. I told my friend, who is a guy, obviously, that I did fancy him at one point, but then didn't because I found he was straight. I told him, and he was like, "Ah," like that, and I was like, breathed a sigh of relief. The only annoying thing is, we were drunk, going to be honest. I told my friend who I talk to on the bus all the time, and she's very supportive. Everyone's very supportive. I told my friend, and I was like, don't tell anyone. So I told her, but then I told another friend of mine. I thought, tell another friend of mine. I told them, but then we all got drunk. And when you're drunk, stuff comes out. She then mentioned it. I then told him that I did fancy at one point, and he was like, "Aw, yeah." I was really proud of myself to mention it to someone. Everyone was like, "Well done for telling him." Yeah. But yeah. So let's get the final point out of the way. If you're a member of LGBT, if you're a different race, if you're a different ethnicity, no one cares. We're all people, okay? That's the end of it. I'm sorry. These people who do these things that are either homophobic, like the Westboro Baptist Church, are just annoying bottoms. I'm trying not to swear. So let's get the final point out of the way. If you're a member of LGBT, if you're a different race, if you're a different ethnicity, no one cares. We're all people, okay? That's the end of it. I'm sorry. These people who do these things that are either homophobic, like the Westboro Baptist Church, are just annoying bottoms. I'm trying not to swear in this one. And they aren't helping people come out. That's why I know there are many people committing suicide, because they don't think anyone's going to be comfortable with themselves. I don't care what people think about me. Haters on YouTube, I do sort of get a little bit annoyed at. I think I just haven't had enough of it to sort of last me, but I do still look at it and get annoyed, or I try and think of a comeback or something like that. That's why I made the message to haters video. But anyway, another bit of a story of telling someone, which I've just remembered. I actually just finished filming the video and then I thought I'd put this in. I had a sort of, not a homophobic experience, because he's not homophobic, but he said some things that sort of was a bit childish, that sort of could be perceived, if a homophobic person were to say it, you'd believe he's homophobic, if that makes sense. I got on the friend. Ugh! I got on the bus with a friend who I mentioned earlier, sat next to her, and my friend messaged her saying, "Who's your girlfriend?" I then, using that conversation, told him I was gay. Ta-da! But then the next day, I had to walk home with him. That was then awkward. But we got off the bus, and he says, "Move ahead of me, gay boy." My heart went into my throat. I thought, I've just lost a friend. Later on during the conversation, I had a conversation with him, to put it straight away, and he says he was perfectly okay with it. He was just joking. And then I look back at his humour, and I completely understand it. But he told some other people, which I was completely okay with. I don't mind people telling people now, obviously. I'm airing this on YouTube. I don't care. He told a friend of mine, but then that friend that he told blocked me on Facebook. Now, many things can be assumed from that. Many things, but I was so upset because we were very close friends, and I was upset that I could have just lost him. That doesn't sound like, I don't fancy him. I had him on Instagram. I private messaged him on Instagram and said, "Why was I blocked?" And he was like, I asked loads of people why do I know, and no one knew. I messaged him myself, and he said it was just Facebook being silly, which I know is a lie. But I think it was one of those things of him just finding out this big bit of information. He said, "I don't want to speak to him yet, I'll block him." But I told him myself, and he was completely okay with it. And now we're still close friends. I had a full-on conversation about YouTube videos and shows yesterday, and his fundraising, which is amazing. Now I've said that, people know who he is, who are friends with me. But yeah, I want to mention, how is this going to change my channel? I'm going to do some LGBT friendly videos, LGBT themed videos. I'm not going to say it's going to become a full-on LGBT channel, but I thought, as I'm a member of LGBT, I thought I may as well do some LGBT themed videos. Over the next few weeks, we've got a few LGBT style things coming, or coming out. It's a little pun there. That I think will be great fun for you guys. It's still on the Harvey sense of humour. It's just a little bit gayer. I remember one thing which I wanted to point out, who helped me make this video, was, who I'm going to thank a million, who's probably not going to see this, but is Connor Franta. I watched his coming out video. I downloaded it, it's on my phone. I'm not kidding you, because it really helped me make it. The very first coming out video I ever watched was Troye Sivan's, which then led me to Connor Franta's. I'm not saying Troye Sivan didn't help. I think Troye Sivan's helped me with the realisation I was gay. Connor Franta's helped me want to make this video, because he didn't really add a sense of humour. I did say I was going to try and add a sense of humour to this, but I didn't. It's not really there. But he really helped me make it, because he was like, it's okay, everything's gonna be fine. Sort of acting like, he was proper acting like a role model there for everyone, and some of my friends don't like him. Stuff them. I think that's why I'm subscribed to him, because he helped me through so much. So if you're watching this, Connor, cheers. Yeah. So you learned something about me. This isn't going to change. Obviously, it's going to change the channel a little bit, but hopefully it doesn't change how you see me. To be fair, there won't be any difference. I sort of decided I was going to make this video just a bit Christmas time-ish, but I didn't feel ready to do it, and my mother still doesn't want me to make this video. Not in a negative way, she doesn't want me airing this information, about personal information about myself, because it obviously could lead to many things, but yeah. I then sort of went, I'm going to make it, but I don't feel ready yet. But I thought, if I'm going to make the channel a bit LGBT friendly, I thought, do a few videos. That's why the Crazy Homophobic Woman and the Westbury Baptist Church video came out. I made that in light that I was. And if you watch them now, you can sort of see that I am, and you can then understand some of the jokes in there and some of the things I say. I slightly come out on the Crazy Homophobic Woman, and yeah, on my gaming channel I did a live stream and I came out on that. And you can go watch it. It's the most popular video on that channel. It's the Minecraft live stream where I got loads and loads of hate. I sort of came out and told everyone, but I was getting hate for it, and I was getting homophobic things for that. And the guy who left hate changed his channel name, because I think he knows that it was wrong to say, which I think's great. I don't have any shit with him now, because I think he realised it was wrong, but changed his channel name, which sort of is annoying, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this video in a true Harvey Wood fashion. You've learnt something about me. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!